It might be weird for me to see myself in two places, but I think this will work. Okay, are we live? I think we're live, Sammy. Actually, what we should do, why don't I text Tori? Let's text Tori and see if she can see the stream. And then ladies, if you're here, if you're a subscriber, drop a chat. Let us know if you can see us, hear us. Let's see. How was the rest of your weekend, Sammy? Oh, shoot. Oh, dang it. Oh. All right, Sammy's gone. All right, what's up, ladies? Let me see what. Sammy's restarting her computer, ladies. So we were here for a second. Please let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay, this is like our first official live on YouTube as Bikini Things. We tried, I think, this one time prior. It didn't go so hot. So just let me know what you're seeing and hearing, if you're getting anything. Sammy's going to be back on in just a sec. We've got videos from prejudging, high quality videos from prejudging. We're sitting close. We got a really good view of everything to the point where we can see the expressions in the girls' eyes. We can see the expressions on their faces, and that tells you a lot. That's what the judges are seeing. You don't get that on the live stream. You don't get that in photos. Photos, the videos a little bit, but especially the photos, you really can't tell what people actually looked like. You can't really tell exactly how hard or exactly how soft they were. When someone's moving, you just see so much more detail on their body and on their muscles. So I'm excited to share with you, ladies, and Sammy should be here in just a sec. You see it? Okay. All right, cool. Okay. All right. I'm just going to jump in. Happens with Sammy. Oftentimes when we record, she needs to restart her computer. Doing this kind of a funky way. I've got to have her, and which is our record. It was like in our recording software, and then we're going to screen share because we want to show videos. We want to show some of the videos that we've got. We want to show what we were seeing so that you ladies feel like you were there too. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go in order. Let me start with my videos, and Sammy will jump on in a moment. Okay, cool. Live stream. Okay. All right. Hopefully, ladies can. So this was our first call out. It was definitely, I think, one of the first things that was a little bit surprising too. And I'm also wondering if this might have played into just the vibe that we saw at the Olympia. A lot of the girls really gave off nervous, scared energy. Like that was what was really obvious when we were sitting there watching them. It's harder to see on the live stream. It's harder to see in photos because we can smile so nicely. But if our eyes are saying I'm terrified, or eyes are saying I'm not confident, the judges see that, the audience sitting close sees that as well. And a lot of the athletes say this is the Olympia. It's not like a normal pro show. It's a lot more challenging. It's a lot more stressful. It's a lot more emotion. And also, two athletes scratched. So scratching means that you did not show up. Um, and they didn't show up to prejudging, okay? Not like they didn't show up to finals. They didn't show up to prejudging, which rarely happens, especially in a pro show. So that was a little bit surprising. I'm hoping Yulia is a friend of mine. I'm hoping she's okay. It sounds like she might have gotten just like a little like lightheaded. Vegas is obviously a very hot, arid environment. And so that stuff like that can happen. And who knows what we're doing with water manipulation and things like that. So these things do happen. Lisa Reith from Europe, I believe, also scratched too. So that was a little bit of a surprise. And I also have to imagine Yulia's on FBF. Like if she's not doing well, I imagine like if I was there, I know I would have been very stressed and concerned about her. She and I roomed together my last prep, and I would have been really concerned and really scared, and my mind might have kind of gone away from the competition, to be honest. So I could imagine that that might have been what some of these women were experiencing backstage. I also know too that a lot of the girls that I talked to said that it was hot backstage. I'm not sure if that was everyone's experience or how big the backstage was. I wasn't back there. So that too, that is going to mess up things like hair, can mess up how the tan is sitting. And one thing I just generally noticed too is there's a lot of there was a lot of messy hair. There was a lot of just glam that looked a little bit off. And so with that in mind, like these little details, they really do play a role into what's going on in the placings and what the judges are seeing. So let me see if this will work where I can play this. Let me turn the sound down too. So this is the prejudging first call out. So from left to right, let's just kind of break this down, ladies. We've got Vanya August in the blue. We've got Laura Lee, last year's winner. We've got Ashley Kay, three-time Miss Bikini Olympian. We've also got Jazzy, who got third last year. Maureen, who's Miss Bikini Olympia 2022. Ashlyn, who's been in the top 10 several years. Amy, who's always gunning for the title. And then Evie Eskandar, who's essentially the most winning athlete in Europe. So we had a really heavy hitting first call. Oh, hey, Sammy, we got you. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So let me do this. Let me see if I need to screen share. Okay. So let's do this. Can I screen share in Riverside? And then, yeah. So let's do this. Cool. Okay. Okay, I've got a video, the first call out. And my nerdy self was literally there in the audience, like with a tripod, so I could get some of these videos. Some of them are not very good. I think when Maureen did her individual, I was like struggling so much. I dropped my phone mid video of hers. Okay. Do you see that, Sammy? Yeah, so now I have to go back to YouTube. So we got in Riverside. Okay, so now let me come here. And then let's see, I need to shoot, I need to do, yeah, this might be weird for a second. It's Riverside. Okay, there we go. Okay, is it working?
There's a slight delay.
But it's working? If we've got anyone in the chat, can you just, let's see. Oh shoot, I don't think it's gonna work, Sammy.
It was work. It was working. Oh wait.
I just stopped.
No.
Yeah, I just
calls in another window. Yeah.
Yeah, I just disconnected it. Let's go back to this here. Okay. Yeah. Sure, that would be great. Yeah. And then we can always Yeah, and then we can always do, like, maybe we keep this one a little shorter, and then we can do, like, a full breakdown, like, maybe on Wednesday when we do or tomorrow or something. Okay, yeah, we don't wanna leave you ladies we do not wanna leave you ladies hanging, there's so much to talk about, like, literally tomorrow, tomorrow, yes. Okay, so yeah, you wanna join the chat, Sammy? And I'll just talk? Okay. Thank you, ladies, for your patience. Those on the East Coast, if you're up watching us, appreciate you. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop Riverside, I guess, and, okay, okay, perfect. Alright, we'll leave that. Okay, cool. All right, let's come back to this. So yeah, this is so this is so much easier. Okay, cool, cool. So yeah, let's talk about the first call out. So we had a lineup of heavy hitters. Off the top of my head, I'm just going to kind of go stream of consciousness, ladies. I got back yesterday. Olympia weekend's always low sleep, even not coaching anyone in the Olympia. We're doing some suit adjustments, still checking with clients, whatnot. So, anyways, I'm going to do a little stream of consciousness, and then Sammy and I are going to do a very thorough breakdown for all of you. So there are some ladies missing in the maybe this first call out that perhaps we would have expected. Just from say last year, I would have expected to see perhaps Jordan, Ari in here. They still placed high in the second call out, but those are some that maybe we would have expected to see. I think Jordan Brannon, Allie as well, also placed really well last year. They've had amazing seasons. They've got great physiques. And so I think those are some too that maybe perhaps we were thinking might have made it in here. And there's so many women too. So if I'm like literally not thinking of someone, I mean, there's so many. We had 69 athletes compete, 71 qualify. So there was so many. So please, if I don't mention anyone, don't hold it against me. I'm just, kind of running off some low sleep and, passion for bikini. So we had this first call out and I'm going to let him flip around. You guys can kind of see. And I honestly think these type of videos are going to give you ladies a better sense of what these girls actually looked like. Sammy and I were sitting like roughly sixth row. And so we could see close enough to see what the women looked like, see and look at, I mean, just the posing alone. I want you to watch Maureen because I think a big reason why she took it home is not only just her overall look is very aesthetic, very marketable. She's also a very confident poser. And in the show, to be honest, like my opinion, this is my personal opinion, she was really the only athlete. And sorry if it's getting a little wonky. This might have been before I had my tripod fully set up for the first call out. I forget what I was doing at this point. I really wanted to create some good videos so we could chat about this. Maureen was the only, and actually, okay, let me even pause my video before we get too far. Okay. I might have missed one move, but this is roughly about where they started. And really, Maureen was the only athlete, in my opinion, other than a couple others too. But Maureen was the only standout who looked like she wanted to win the show and looked like she believed she could win the show. Okay, so a lot of girls obviously want to win the show, right? Of course, we all want to win the Olympia. Who doesn't want to be Miss Bikini Olympia? That's the dream, right? That's the dream. However, I want for anyone who's listening, whether you're amateur, pro, etc., think of it this way: if you're a regular pro Olympian, a regular pro show is not that big of a deal for you. The Olympia is a much bigger deal. The same way that us as a newer athlete or a brand new athlete, an NPC athlete, the same way we get freaking nervous for our first show, or the same way we get really nervous for our first national show, I want you to put yourself back in that place. And this level is kind of the Olympia level is how these women can feel. They might not be intimidated at a regular show, but all of a sudden, when you've got multiple other Miss Bikini, you've got 3 Miss Bikini Olympias in the show, and you're trying to win it for the first time, it's going to feel a little intimidating. Your cortisol could be a little bit high. 2 girls are not, didn't show up. The backstage is hot. Like and these are just little details. I wasn't physically backstage, so who knows? I'm just kind of painting a picture and I'm getting you ladies thinking about how would you feel if you were in that scenario. And sitting close, you can see in the eyes, in the facial expression of women that they were nervous. And like, for example, Ashlyn, I think this might have just been surprised. Ashlyn's a friend of mine. I love Ashlyn. I love her look. At one point we'll get there in a moment, when they moved her, into the middle. I don't think she even realized at first. And it's one of those things, again, these higher tier shows are going to bring out a little bit more nerves and just a little bit more, honestly, posing mistakes. I'm not talking about anyone specific. I'm just saying in general, they're going to bring out more little posing mistakes, whatnot. Like, for example, here's something I noticed. If you notice, Vanya is not angling in her back pose, while Evie Eskandar is. So that's something that I would not expect. Vanya is such a good poser. She won the Arnold this year. Vanya is also a great friend of mine. I was lucky enough to be there when she won her first pro show in 2022, and we got to celebrate together. So know too that anything I'm saying, ladies, I'm going to be honest, but I'm also going to speak from a place of love. Yeah, Sammy, feel free. I'd love to hear your thoughts too, Sammy. You were there. So here's the initial back pose, and I'm going to try not to disrupt this too much because obviously that blocks the view. And then these little cameras, I couldn't really get above the press guys without like standing up. It would have blocked everyone's view. You kind of need to sit down, be respectful. But I do think you ladies get a kind of better view than what the live stream was doing. The live stream was often panning overhead, which literally does not show you a view of how the athletes look. So let's do a quick pause here while they're in their back poses at the back of the stage where we can see a little bit more of the physique. And one thing I really want to point out about Maureen as well, she's our winner. So in general, I'm going to compare everyone around her. I'm not going to do like a super thorough breakdown of all 69 athletes. Sammy and I will do a more thorough breakdown and probably mini breakdowns. Like I think we'll probably do suit posing breakdowns. A lot of these athletes, we work for Toxic Angels. We designed a lot of these suits. So, you know, we're really involved in all the details that goes into getting up on stage as a bikini athlete. And one thing I really want to point out about Maureen that I really haven't seen anyone touch on, and because I think I've been around bikini so long, my first prep started in 2016, and I've literally just been pedal to the metal since then. You got to remember bikini is a shape game at the end of the day. It's a shape game. It's a ratio game. Genetics play a difference. And Maureen has a really great structure. She has, especially from the back pose. If you see here, just literally if you look at, I'm going to do this with my cursor. Look at the size of her glutes relative to the rest of her body. So that it can be one way where even though her glutes were, yes, they were smaller than some of the women who were up there in the first call out. Maureen's also, she's pretty petite, but her glutes relative to her body are quite large, and she's got a very good hourglass. Like if you just look at her in this back pose, you can see she's got a nice tapered waist. We can see her shoulder caps really well. Her glutes are full, her upper glutes are full, and her glutes are basically fully connecting to her hamstrings. She's got a lot of hamstring development. Her, like Ashley Kay, like Laura Lee, I mean, many of these women too, they've been competing for a long time. They've been at the Olympia for longer than some of us have even been lifting weights. So these women have a lot of muscle. So that is like what we're seeing is Maureen's full on hamstring there. And if she had perhaps, I think some people criticize her conditioning at times, which I don't think is necessary since she won, right? She's our Olympia winner. If she had tried to get her tie-ins fully etched in, most like spider web, and so that is something that the judge probably coming in strategically. She's won the Olympia, won it in 2022 with not the hardest look in the show. And so she knows if she brings a good look, she brings a proportional, healthy, beautiful bikini look, she's probably going to do well. And the thing too is she really attacked the stage. She was super confident when she came out for her individual. There was a big wow factor. So let's just let the rest of the first call out play out, ladies. I don't want to go too long just because unfortunately, I guess like my technical ability with YouTube streaming, I need to get on Fuad's level with the screen sharing, the multiple guests, all of that. We tried to put this together really quickly. So see here, there's confusion switching. Just this alone, this does not look like the Olympia with that level of confusion. Like truly, that's what typically happens at like an NPC show, or often that doesn't even happen at pro shows. I've done little mistakes like that. Like one time I got confused at Nashville Fit Show when they were saying Flora, and I thought they said Laura, and I like walked off stage and they were like, no, Laura, come back. And it's because I was nervous. So the judges see all this, they recognize what it is. It's confusion, it's nervousness, it's a lack of just regulating your heart rate and your nervous system. And so little things like this, can hold it against you. If you look at Maureen, she whips around, she's smiling, she's strutting, and she looks completely unfazed. A lot of the other ladies are looking around, they're giving, a little bit of nervous energy. Not that it's that bad, but at this level, ladies, any little thing, any little, your makeup alone can make a difference. Your suit color, I think one thing too, along with perhaps a bit of a peaking issue for Lauralee, is her suit color. I would have loved to see it a little bit brighter, a little bit darker. The suit is it's not giving her that pop. I would have loved to see her in more of a brighter purple, like what Jordan and Lolo wore, which is another fabric from Toxic Angels. Lauralee wears Toxic Angels as well. And to me, a lot of people said she wasn't lean enough. I actually don't think that's what that was. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the next video here. I actually don't think it was a lack of leanness. She looked flat. I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but she looked just flat to me. I think maybe she tried to pull water a little too hard, because honestly, at finals, she looked better. She looked more full. And so when you look more full and you look better at night, being bigger, that means that you were. Meanwhile, too, ladies, keep in mind, they are just giving else is kind of being compared to her. And again, I want you to sort of look relative to her body and look at how smoothly she's walking. You can fully see her glutes, fully see her hamstrings. Yes, her tines are not as crispy, maybe not the same density or hardness as the other girls, but she's bringing a really healthy, marketable, beautiful, feminine look. And she's owning it. She's really owning it. She's not giving off any nervousness. She's giving off, I've been here, I've done this, and I'm here to take the show today. And no one else, to be honest, no one else was really giving that. So there are a lot of athletes that looked really, really awesome. Jazzy in particular, I really loved her fullness, her pop. Amy, Ashlyn, I mean, everyone in this first call, it looks great. But at this level, it is splitting hairs. So you're going to kind of see over time too that they're sort of just moving everyone around Maureen, and then they dismiss. Actually, yeah. So this is the part I think where Ashlyn gets she doesn't initially recognize that her name's called. That's kind of what that was. So that's so subtle, ladies, but that is something that shows to the judges. It shows nervousness. Another thing I also want to point out too, if you notice, Sandy's judging the Olympia. Sandy and Tyler are typically judging the Olympia for Bikini. Sandy did not judge as many, I believe not as many pro shows this year. I think a lot more male judges were judging pro shows, and in general, male judges tend to award a lot more muscle mass. Alongside Maureen's look, and even there, she's like the only one who's stepping back. She's smiling at the judges. NPC level, national qualifier level, we may not have the time to do something like that. At a pro show, you likely can. But she's oozing confidence. She's attacking the stage. She's oozing confidence. No one else is doing that. No one else is attacking the stage. And I know it seems silly, but literally it's splitting hairs at this level. Posing, improper makeup, a poor suit color, all of these things make a big difference. So they're holding him here. And so here they're really kind of looking at Jazzy and Maureen. And I really love Jazzy's look. At this point, I wasn't really sure. They're still making some moves. They've got her and Maureen in the middle. Jazzy's smile looks a little bit more forced than Maureen's does. Maureen she's giving off a little bit more relaxed energy. And to be fair too, I mean, Jazzy, she got third last year. She's probably having this realization that, holy crap, I can win this. And that can also create a lot of pressure and a lot of expectation in our minds too, that can affect how we feel on show day. So here, Ashley and Amy are switching. Okay, that's the end of that video. All right, let's just break it down. Okay. And at this point, I'm trying to reset. Okay. And so here, okay, they're moving Amy. So they're moving Amy into the top 4. Evie is moving out slightly. And then they had Ashlyn on the side. Actually, you know what? This might have actually been the very beginning of the first call out. I think this might have actually been the very beginning of the first call. Yeah, because they move Ashlyn in. Yeah, sorry, ladies. I thought I had my video in chronological order. I think I had one on a different phone. So this timestamp is a little different. But just, again, look at the facial expressions. I want you to look at the posing. There's things you're going to pick up on. Oh my gosh, sorry. Let's see what else. Okay. All right. Other breakdowns other group videos I have are the initial groups. Let's see which ones we've got. I think Sammy has a ton of videos as well. Let's bring out Maureen's video. Okay. Oh my gosh, and the picture is like not even. Sorry, ladies, this is not what I expected. I think we're just gonna need to do a full breakdown. I'm so sorry. This live was a good idea in theory. An ounce of what's it called? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I just need to do a more full breakdown, I think, with our normal recording software. So sorry, ladies. This is going to be slightly delayed, but I've got a different vantage point than the rest of the breakdowns I've seen. Laura Lee, from my perspective, was not out of shape at prejudging. She was flat, perhaps due to pulling water down. And Maureen just brought it in a way that no one else did. So there's a lot more to it than that, but we're going to share with you more. Please be patient for the recap. So sorry about this, ladies. We'll figure out next time we do a live. We'll make sure it's a lot more top tier. Thanks again for your support of Bikini Things, and I'll see you next time.